must have heard this quote, you just have to be right once. Yeah, so I was right once, and that was YouTube. But apart from YouTube, I was always wrong. And this video is an account of all of those points in my life when I was wrong, but I was really brave. I am no certified motivator. I don't know the term for it. But yes, that's something that I've learned from my own life. Things change, and they will change for you too. But if you try, you will get out of them sooner than you expect. Okay, so let's start with the first thing that I have for you. Do not hate me for saying this, but yeah, I've tried network marketing. I don't know if you are into it or if somebody in your family is into it. Now, I'm just giving you my honest account of it. I hate it. I hate it. When I was entering it, I had no clue I am entering network marketing. At that point in my life, I had not heard this term. Honestly, I had not. I don't know, despite being a CA, I guess I was pretty uneducated in other things. And this was one of those things. I did not know what network marketing is. My friend asked me to trust him. I trusted him. I gave him my money. And at that time, it was pretty big amount. I paid him more than ₹1,00,000. And it was my pure hard earned money. That was the only 1 lakh I had in my account that I earned from my first job. Because I was so desperate, he said, I'm doing something, and if you do it along with me, I am making great money, you will also make, and the business is awesome, it's all ethical, it's all reliable, it's good, and the future prospects are amazing. And he really wasn't lying, honestly. I'm not gonna say he was lying to me. He was not. He believed in it. He too believed in it. He was also cheated into it. I too thought, हाँ ठीक है, अच्छा ही होगा, इतने समझदार पढ़े लिखे लोग करें, अच्छा ही होगा. Okay, I don't want to demean anyone. There must be somebody who's too educated, you know of, and is into something like this. So it's just me. It's my story. Okay, let's get into the next point. I've sold toys. I know. So yes, I have had a small experience of selling toys in a proper shop. What is that name, that place? Delhi Haat. Yeah, so I once had a stall in Delhi Haat, and it was just for a couple of days because that was all we could afford. I did it with somebody. I wasn't doing it alone. But yes, I remember, doing that chabi to the truck and making the truck move. Yeah, those small toys. I've done all that. We bought some toys from Sadar Bazaar. And after bringing those toys home, we bought some packets. We bought those stickers, and we put every toy into a packet, and we put on those stickers, and we wrote down the amount. And I remember we were just randomly placing numbers on the toys. Point number 3. For a very short duration of time, I actually had my own CA firm. It did not go on for long. It just went on for 3 or 4 months. I wanted to do something to do with my talent, and I just did not get any interest in it. While I was doing my CA firm, I had already started my YouTube channel. So I was already making videos, a few of those, but nothing was working out. So CA firm was another thing that I started with a friend of mine. He's still my CA, by the way. Yeah, I hired him later. Now he does my taxes and he does my accounting. He does all my GST filing and everything. If it had worked out, I would not have been here sitting making a video for you, right? Obviously. Okay, so yeah, grateful it didn't work out. For a short period of time, of course, I'm not 60, yeah, so obviously all of these things happened for short duration only. Obviously, nah. Had I been doing it for 5 years each, like 9 things, 5 each, 45 years, yeah, so it was not that long, of course. So anyway, for a short duration of time, I happened to actually start a clothing business. Yeah, I found an investor. God knows why that guy trusted me with investment. I had no money. So he trusted me with a small investment of only 10,000 rupees. He gave me that money. I went to Chandni Chowk. I bought kapda from that money. And there were some very good designs, which you must have seen me wearing on my videos later, because again, that did not work out. And yeah, so that we tried to do something for it, we could not. Nothing really worked out. He got busy somewhere else. He was somewhere outside India, and I was here. I had my own 10 things going on in my head. I was so confused what to do with life and stuff. So somehow it didn't work out, and I had to stop it, and he too had to stop it, and so that's how it ended. I never actually met that person. I don't even remember how I got to know of him. I don't know. I think he found me on YouTube. So all of this was going on when YouTube was not working for me. Yes, I had tried to make YouTube work for me for almost 2 years before it actually started to give me some results. I was persistent. I kept on doing it. Yeah, so moving on. Meritnation. Meritnation should not be actually on this list. I became an online teacher on Meritnation, and it should not be on this list because it actually worked pretty well for me. But it did not go on for more than 2 years. I did happen to work there for almost 1.5 years or so, but it did not go on for longer than that because the company got sold to another company. Meritnation was taken over by Akash Institute, and hence they had to, like, they are still doing something, they are still into online teaching, but there were a lot of layoffs over there around that time. I was also kind of laid off, but yes, I did enjoy working there. I got a lot of recognition as a teacher over there. Students really liked me. I developed some friendships. Students used to mail me later, tell me, ma'am, we miss you. So it wasn't a failure, but yeah, it was something that ended sooner than was expected. I became an online teacher over there, tried my hands best at doing something big and crazy, but yeah, it ended abruptly. After Meritnation ended, I wanted to do my own home tuitions. Yeah. And I remember we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and my husband was not my husband at that time. So he picked me from my home at 4 a.m. in the morning. And 4 a.m. is always in the morning. But yes, he picked me from my home. We went to the place where newspaper distribution happens. And we had got those pamphlets printed. See, Alina Rice, home tuitions, all subjects. No, it wasn't all subjects. It was accountancy or some math, I guess. And उसमें थोड़ा सा और इश्तेहार टाइप का था. And then we got those pamphlets inserted into the newspapers, and we got those newspapers distributed in the area. No calls came, yaar. None of the calls came. And honestly, I don't know. I'm happy that they didn't come. I did not want to do that. I was just doing it out of, I don't know. I don't know why I was doing that. I'm grateful it didn't work. I didn't want to do it. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I was just doing maybe out of the lust for work. I really wanted to work. I really needed money at that time. So yeah, I wanted to work. I wanted to make some living out of that. But I did not really otherwise wanted to do it. So yeah. Oh my god, no, this is a crazy one. Before my channel picked up, I don't know, at 10,000 subscribers or so. Yeah. I met somebody through YouTube, and he wanted me to help him with his channel, and wanted me to take interviews on streets. So I don't want to tell you the name because you're gonna start Googling it and then find out all the kabada that I did over there. But yes, actually, I took some street interviews for that channel. Initially, 3 or 4 interviews were very good. Of course, it was a difficult job because most of the times when you walk up to somebody in CP with a camera and with a mic in your hand, they're just like, and we don't want to talk to you, we don't want to talk to you. So it's like that. And it's very insulting. It's especially very insulting when you're a girl and when you think you look nice and when you think you're pretty and then somebody does this to you. It's very embarrassing. It breaks a lot of myths of you, about yourself. So yeah, anyway, so I remember doing 3 or 4 of those interviews, and then the real intention was revealed to me. The 4th or the 5th time I was there to take interviews on streets, the topic was horrendous. It was very cheap. The topic was very cheap. It was more on the lines of sexuality, and I was very uncomfortable doing it. I did not want to do it because I wasn't married at that time. I was like, "Mere papa mujhe maar dalenge." No, but seriously, even now I cannot do it. I wasn't comfortable, but the topic was still okay. मतलब उतना गंदा नहीं था. But when the video came out, they titled it in the most deplorable manner. The title was very sexual in nature, and it ticked me off. I was like, what the? Seriously? I mean, you never told me you're gonna do this to this video. I did not want my name to be attached to something like this. I called him up immediately. I'm like, oh, what is this, yeah? What is this title? I'm not gonna be presenting something like this on the camera. You take it off. So he listened. He deleted that video instantly. But then he fired me. So later, he never gave me a call again. He hired somebody else in my place, and then all that sexuality went on for quite long on that channel, really. A lot of those, it wasn't clear, it wasn't clearly directed at sexuality. It was, it had those hints in it. The content had hints in it, and I did not want to be attached to something like that. Even now, I'm not comfortable with these things. So yeah. Anyway, that video is not there. But there are other videos, funny ones that are there still. If you could manage to find it out, I'm not gonna name them. No. Moving on. Paintings. Ooh la la. Paintings. I sold my paintings. I started to indulge more into my hobby of painting. Now I don't paint because I don't have time. But yes, I did pick up my hobby of painting a few years ago, and I started to paint. I made some nice ones. There were all kinds of sizes. There were big ones and there were small ones. And I sold some 10 or 14 of those for 20,000 rupees. I made around 20,000 rupees by selling those paintings. So yes, I will not really call it a failure, but that was something that I tried. Was very difficult, was not paying me a lot, but 20,000 at that time did seem like a good amount of money. But yes, that was one hardship, one good endeavor I went through, did not really make me successful. It was a failure, of course. I had to drop it because matlab, you paint so much, hai na? You do so much hard work, and then you get paid just 1,000 rupees for a painting after spending days and days on it. No, it's not something that you can, like, somebody who was untrained. I was untrained, so that's why I could not make money. Moving on to the next one. And I don't know about the people who do make money, even the trained artists. I don't know how much they make. But I have a feeling that it's a difficult nut to crack. It's very difficult to make money in that profession, I feel. But some people make huge amount of money. I was not one of them. Yeah. Oh my God, Talent Academy. I interviewed for an advertisement in the newspaper where it said that they're looking for a girl who could host a television show of traveling. I mean, why on earth would I leave something like that? I found it and I instantly made up my mind. I'm gonna interview for this. And as you know, I cleared it. Like, why would you know? No, you don't know. I'm just telling you that I did clear it. I was the only selected one out of those, God knows, 50, 100 girls there in the audition. And I did clear it. And then I later found out that whatever they were promising was ridiculous. There was no TV show. They just made me sit in the office. There was nothing for me to do. Just sitting there, waiting for days and days. The pay was very less. They were hardly ready to pay 15,000 rupees for the entire month, and that place was very far from my house. I had to travel almost 2 hours one side, 2 hours back, and 3 or 4 hours when you spend on the travel and you get only 15,000 rupees in hand, you can't do it. And I was waiting for the TV show to begin, where I could just walk around with Mike and maybe wear all those nice flowy dresses and walk in the mountains and present on the camera, but nothing happened. It ruined a month of my life. I did go there for quite many days, but it didn't work out. I had to drop it later. I was kind of heartbroken. It was miserable. And Sahil wasn't there in India around that time. He was in Australia at that time. So I was kind of, and my family, my mom and dad, I did not tell them because they would have worried too much. They were in Lucknow. I was in Delhi. So it was sad, very sad, because I had really high hopes from that event. But it didn't work out for me. But anyway, अच्छा हुआ नहीं किया. I did okay, now this one is a horrible one. I did a school job in a school. Wow, that sounded so lame. I did a school job as a teacher, as a guest lecturer. Didn't work for me. I was hired when they truly needed somebody to finish the course for them for class 12th accountancy. There were board exams approaching, and their teacher had just suddenly left for some reason, some health reason. I don't know the reason exactly. I was taken up for the job, and I taught them the course, the full syllabus. I did my job. And of course, then they did not need me, and I was not a B.Ed. I was a CA. I was not a B.Ed. So they obviously had a very good reason to fire me, but they pointed out a few more things when they had to let me go. They told me a few more things. ये आपको अभी सीखने की ज़रूरत है. ये नहीं आता आपको, वो नहीं आता. I know I'm not a trained teacher, यार. I'm not supposed to be teaching at a school. I was doing it because I needed the money. I was doing it because, of course, I was a teacher otherwise also, but I wasn't qualified for it. So yes, it happened so. I did the job for a few months. I made some money out of it. I remember they used to pay me 40,000 rupees a month. And it was a challenging job, writing the exam paper. I mean, I had to make those exam papers. I had no idea of the format of the papers. I had to teach myself all of that. It was so difficult. It was tiring. It was thankless. Nobody appreciated. It was the most thankless job I ever did. Nobody appreciated. Your seniors did not appreciate you. Your students didn't appreciate you, most of them. Your colleagues were all right. The other teachers, fellow teachers, were still good. There were a few who were very good. But otherwise, it was a very bad experience of my life. Very bad experience. Like, it really taught me the most. I don't know how many times I cried in that job. It was very, very bad experience of my life. I don't know what the expectations were. I mean, sometimes I just felt like shouting at those people. Like, what the hell are you expecting out of a CA, yaar? I'm a chartered accountant. I'm not supposed to be doing this job. This is not my area. I'm doing it because you need it and I need it. Both of us need it. It's for mutual benefit. So just cut me some slack, yeah. Let me do my job. It's okay if I'm fucking up some places. If I'm not being able to do a few things right, it's all right. Teach me. I'm hardly a month old in the job. What do you expect out of me? Anyway, moving on to the next one. I did teach at tuition centers for 2 or 3 years, yeah, and that went well. That went well for quite some time. But then eventually COVID happened and the centers had to shut. And then they started, like, they were not paying me anything at all, but the classes were still going on online and they expected us to understand. And I remember taking classes. Of course, the frequency had reduced. Of course, it had reduced. But I remember at the end of the month, they paid me 2,800 rupees. And that was the alarm. I told her, yaar, ye to nahi kar sakti main. Because I'm teaching so much. I'm making videos for you, your channel, YouTube channel. This is what you pay me. And so I had to drop it. And then eventually I did not want to do this, did not want to do that at that time, but I just stopped taking their calls. It was very difficult because my channel was also not doing well at that time. But if I were to work for free, I would do it for myself. I would not do it for you, yaar. If I have to work for you, I need to get paid. It's as simple as that. So these are it. These are all the things I had to say in this video. I hope you learned something. These are the worst experiences of my life, but the best teachers of my life. I learned so much when I was going through all this shit. When I was going through all of this, it felt very difficult at that time. But now it feels lovely thinking about it. No, lovely is not the word, but yes. I do feel nostalgic talking about it. Doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like, okay, I was the one going through all of that. It feels like that. It doesn't feel real at all. And now it's hardly 2 or 3 years since something like this has stopped. All of these things have stopped in my life, but it feels like a distant thought. It feels like I've come 20 years from that point in my life. Really, it feels very distant, but it is not distant. It just happened a couple of years ago. Anyway, that's all about in the video today. Thank you very much. I hope you like this one. Please give it a like if you like it, yeah. And share it with your family. Share it with your cousins, your friends, whoever is suffering something right now in their lives. Just tell them, ho jata hai, ho jayega. All's gonna be okay. At some point in your life, you're gonna come out of it and you're gonna look back at it and gonna smile, a pretty one. I'll see you again. Bye.